Welcome back to the workshop. As most of you know, it's spooky season, so today we're going to carve a jack-o'-lantern. But we're going to do it in a not so traditional way. So I've gone ahead and I've prepped this block here of some redwood burl, and I'm going to go ahead and carve a jack-o'-lantern out of this. I've gone ahead and seamed together two pieces so that we can get more of a appropriate size, and I've gone ahead and cut out a rough template. So I'm going to start by rough shaping this on the bandsaw, and then I'm going to move on to my rasp and some carving tools. Let's get started. Alright, so now that I've got it in the rough shape from the bandsaw, I'm going to go ahead and take my rasp to it and make it more of a round shape before we start carving any of the profiles into it. Now I'm going to accomplish this by keep putting this in my vise and kind of rounding this profile to get the top part started out, and then I'm going to move on to shaping the bottom side to match that. And then once I get that, we're going to move to some carving tools to start putting the face and the ridges that are on the pumpkin. Alright, now that I got the top part in the rough shape, I'm going to start working on the bottom, and we'll come back when that is all set. Alright, now that we've got the basic shape down, and we've got our lines drawn on here, now comes the tedious part of carving that. And for that, I'm going to turn to my flex cut here. I'm going to do most of the carving with this, and I'm going to start by doing the lines, and then once I get that profile all set up, I'm going to move on to doing the face of the jack-o'-lantern. I think the best way to start that off is by scoring the lines and then getting that profiled so then I can shape the rounded parts in between each section. Now, since this center section is already a crease, I'm going to use that as my starting point, and I'm just going to kind of go inward toward that, and then from there start carving out these pieces. Alright, now that I got a crease like that, I'm going to switch over to one of the scorping tools, and we're going to do a rounded profile in that seam. We're going to use the small one here to give it that rounded profile. Alright, now we got a rounded profile in here, in this channel. I'm going to go ahead and start doing the rest of them, and then I'm going to round off that profile. So basically what I'm finding, now that I've got 3 of these profiled so far, is because this is a softwood, mind you redwood is a pine, and because this is the burl wood and the grains are so inconsistent, I'm finding that you can see right in those cracks there that I'm getting a little tear out with my carving knife. So I have started going back with my Dremel and softening before I start rounding that out. Now I'm still basically using the 2 knives on this to basically get the shape down, and then I'm going to go and clean them back out. So I'm going to continue my way around to get the basic profile down, and then from there I'm going to clean it up with the Dremel, and then we'll start carving the face into it. Alright, now that I got it this far, it's time to go ahead and draw the face on there. So I think we're just going to go with a traditional jack-o'-lantern face. Something like that. So I'm going to use a combination of my regular blade and the chisel to take those parts out. And then we'll move on to sanding. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking this straight knife and I'm approaching it like I would do with any inlay. I take this knife and I score around these lines, and then I move to a chisel to clean out that excess. That gives the chisel a place to stop when you are cutting away the wood. Now we got that one eye chiseled out. I'm going to go ahead and start working on all the other ones. Alright, now we got a face. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and give it a soft sanding. And I think I want to just dye this a little bit of a darker color so that the eyes and mouth stand out. And then we'll put a nice coat of shellac on it. Alright, so I want the mouth to stand out, so I'm going to make it darker than the rest of it. So I'm going to go ahead and stain it. I'm going to try and just get the mouth, but I can always go ahead and sand over it afterwards. So we're just kind of dab this in here to try and cover the mouth in this nice espresso color. Little sloppy. We'll sand off the excess once this dries, and then we'll go ahead and put some shellac on it. Alright, I've gone ahead and cleaned it up. I'm going to go ahead and put some shellac on it. Just as before, I'm going to put one heavy coat on here and probably do a total of 3 coats. Alright, we're going to let this dry. It is complete. And it's done. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Even though there were a couple bumps along the way, I think this will make a great decoration. And I'm glad I got another chance to use this flex cut carver. Again, I can't say enough how much I love this tool. I would recommend it to anybody. I've had it for several months now, and I have still yet to sharpen it, and this thing is razor sharp. If you can't tell by nicking myself a little bit while I'm carving this. If you like what you saw, don't forget to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you'd like to see next. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And as always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Have a happy Halloween.